going after 10 months of full-time Slab City residential living. It's much easier to go live in the winter, or fall and winter and spring, than it is in the summer. I'm hoping my audio is going to be all right here. So this is like a little bit of a catch-up stream. I have not been going live as much as I had anticipated, but summer, it's just really hard to go live. My device would overheat. Yeah, so, and it's okay. It is what it is. I'm not going to berate that or, you know, harp on that over and over. Welcome. Can you hear me okay? How's the sound quality? Is it crisp? Or the last time I heard my last live stream, it sounded kind of fuzzy. So I don't know if it's my microphone. Hi, Cricket. Is my sound fuzzy? This is my sound here. Okay, cool. So I have a lot going on, as most human life does, especially in our culture. We're just constantly and continually busy. So because of this, sometimes I get anxious. It's a good sound. It's a good sound. Okay, cool. So I have been resuming my meditation practice. I have my friend Fleur has been on a path of doing various spiritual practices like meditation, and it kind of inspired me to resume, not kind of, it helped inspire me to resume my own meditation practice. So I started off with 5 minutes of silent meditation upon rising. I have like this routine when I get up in the morning. So before I do anything, I take a swallow of, let me show it to you. I do a swallow of extra virgin olive oil. It's from Greece. It's first cold pressed, which is really key because I've had stomach issues. So before I drink or eat anything, I let my stomach heal with the olive oil. It has some wonderful coating properties. My stomach tends to run acidic. So what I'll do is I'll take one swallow of this, and then I set my timer for, well, this morning I did 12 minutes of meditation. So, and that's what Oprah Winfrey does. She's actually the one that really inspired me to start meditating back in 2021 when my business was just collapsing and I was like living out of the van and I had no safety net. I was just freaking the heck out. So I had to do something to come into alignment. I had just finished 4.5 months of breath work when I came back during COVID to the West Coast to resume van life. And everything, my whole lifestyle was relying on my online business, and it was just failing. Everything I was doing was just failing. And it was just really heartbreaking because I felt like I was being forced to go back into the workforce. And for those of you who don't know, I'm an online educator, and I'm an online independent educator, and I serve the homeschool community with some interesting unit study style online courses called Math, Art, and Marine Biology. And if you don't know what unit studies are, it's basically how adults learn. For example, you're probably pursuing something that you're passionate about right now in your own life, and you can share in the comments. Like, I'm passionate right now about bike packing. So I have been researching all things bike packing. You know, watching videos, reading books. So whatever your interest is, like you find enhancing resources to help you learn it. Well, that's basically what a unit study is for children, for education. It's a fancy educational term for equipping children with the resources that they need to help them learn what they want. Meanwhile, on the back end of the academics, where the parent or the teacher, the educator or guardian has to record all the children's learning, they use what's called a unit study planner to help them document what the child has learned in each academic subject. So that's basically what a unit study is. So, wow, boy, I really have a lot to say today. I wasn't even planning to go live, but I was thinking to myself, you know, this is the perfect time of year and I've got a lot going on in my life. Why not just go live and share what the latest is with my full-time life, van life here in Slab City? So yeah, back in 2021, back in 2020 and 2021, but if I back up to 2020 during COVID, literally before COVID started, I went through 4.5 months of really deep spiritual work called breath work. It's this circular breath where when you exhale one breath, before you exhale your entire breath, you're taking in another, and it brings you into this kind of an alpha state, which is it's a very great state of mind to do deep spiritual work in. So I did that, and it shook up a lot in my life. A lot of energy was moving, and this was even before I wanted to move to Slab City. Like, I had poured $27,000 into my online business to help me with marketing, and every bit of it had failed. Like, and it was just hair pulling, mind numbing, gut wrenching. I was just like, what is going on? Like, why am I hitting brick wall after brick wall after brick wall? And then, so when I came back to the West Coast in my van and started to experience like this freak out, like, what am I going to do with my life? You know, I had poured everything into my online business and went into debt, and big debt. I had never been in debt before. And so that's when I picked up meditation. And it's also around the same time where I got the idea that maybe I should go to Slab City and live rent-free and take that stress out of having to live full-time out of a van, having to constantly be in motion. You know, as much as I love the nomadic lifestyle, it has its stresses, just like anything. There's pros and cons to anything. And the stress of having little to no money and having to keep a vehicle running and having to move from place to place to place can be huge. And I know I'm not the only one in the nomadic community that has been through this. So more and more Slab City became appealing to me, first on an economical level. Next, it became appealing to me because I wanted long-term, lifelong friends. Forget about relationships. I was just like bombed out on that too. So I was just like, screw that. Let's try to build community in a location that I was being drawn to, which was the West Coast. I tried to make it on the East Coast and just hit so many brick walls. And but my heart was telling me, come back to the West Coast, stay in the West Coast, stay there. This is what my heart wanted, but I was just so scared, and I was thinking I would rely on my family to help me, and this is no offense to them, but transparency here. I cannot do religion anymore, and they live, eat, and breathe religion. Sorry if that offends you. I love you so much, my family, but I can't live that life. So that wasn't going to work for me. I cannot do organized religion. For me, it doesn't work for me, okay? Some of you watching, you may, you know, have a faith and it works for you, great. It didn't work for me. But, you know, I do practice, what's the term? Just understanding that not everyone's going to see things my way. For me, I just cannot embrace any type of organized religion. I personally feel that it's used to control people's lives, just like similarly the government does. It's just not for me. Nada. So I also tried to find a job on the East Coast working in a middle school boarding school. It was on a farm, and I thought, yeah, this is my baby. This is gonna work for me. This is my life calling. And absolute flop, total flop. And meanwhile, inside I'm like, oh, I just want to be in the Eastern Sierra. I want to be living out of my van full time again. So it was just the universe kind of egging me on. Get out of the East Coast, get back on the West Coast. So I'm finally making that decision. And let me back up a little bit more. I guess I'm kind of going into story now. So I came back, I used my stimulus check to come back to the West Coast. And thankfully gas prices went way down. So it was extremely convenient. Because I was literally riding on, a few $1,000s left in my bank account to my name. So that got me crossed from the East Coast to the West Coast. And I resumed van life in my favorite place on the planet that I've ever been to, which is the Eastern Sierra. So I spent the next, from 2020 during COVID, like at the beginning of COVID, when it broke out, all the way until last year. So I ended up spending that 2 summers, myself and my dog and the camper van in the Eastern Sierra, loving life, but very high anxiety around my online business just not taking off the way I wanted. I went through more trainings with Russell Brunson on marketing, and the big hitch for me has always been finding families that want to buy my courses, my online courses. And I still, honest to God, struggle with that. Now this year, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. I did find a solution that's at least getting the word out there about my online courses. We'll get into that another time. But I finally, I was about to make the decision about moving to Slab City in 2021 after my dog had passed away, Rochelle Claire. I had to put her down. She had seizures in the middle of the night that took out all her mobility, and I could not lift that dog into the van in and out. She was a 66-pound dog, and so I had to put her to sleep on, I held her head as she passed on, as she transitioned. And boy, that was some grief there. I spent weeks grieving her loss because she had been with me since the beginning of my van life journey in 2013. So to lose her companionship was huge. So that left a hole in my heart. So I ended up getting into a relationship in the Eastern Sierra. It was, for the most part, a really great relationship. But I struggled around a few things, mainly having autonomy. And when you're in a relationship, there's always give and take. And, I did my best to give to the relationship, like cooking meals and being a great companion as much as I could. But inside, I just felt, I don't like living in a house, and I don't like running off doing all the holiday stuff. And it was non-negotiable. And I needed negotiation. So that tipped me off that I just needed to leave the relationship, and that was a decision. I needed to leave, and I finally made the decision. I was going to move to Slab City. I was going to run away to Slab City, and I did. So last January 8th, after all the holidays were over, and I felt like I brought good closure to our relationship by attending, all the holidays that he wanted me to attend with his family. And we always had great times. You know, I loved it. I just would have liked the choice. I could have taken the choice, but with not good consequences to, you know, not go to every single holiday thing that was celebrated. If you're watching this, hi, I do love you. I'm just being transparent. He knew all along that I was unhappy with that. And I understand why people feel that holidays should be non-negotiable. I understand it's written in the fabric of a lot of cultures, our culture in American society. People feel that they must get together with their families every holiday. No, you don't. If it's toxic, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. Put your foot down. So sometimes it takes making dramatic decisions in life like I did, running away to Slab City so I can live life on my terms finally. Do what you need to do to live life on your terms. We get, as far as we know, in these bodies anyway, we get one life in these bodies. Whether our essence moves on and reincarnates, I don't know. I think it's possible. Or if this is just it, if this life force, this is you get one bang for your buck. So you might as well live life on your terms. That's what I believe anyway. Hey, share in the comments if you have any thoughts about what I'm saying here. I have the fan off. It's kind of hot, but I don't want that hum, that constant hum in the background. It's pretty annoying. What I'm going to do is open the back door to get some airflow, because I am in a metal box and it's sunny right now. Speaking of which, one of the things that I'm going through right now is getting my van doors fixed. The driver's side back doors broke. The latch broke. I just can't open it. It broke over the summer, towards the end of summer. Actually, it was towards the middle of summer, and towards the end of summer, my side door opened. So I have to literally use the passenger front seat. I have to climb like a monkey back and forth and out the door to get in and out of the van. It's been inconvenient, but hey, it's helping keep me in shape. 51 years old, and I do my yoga a couple times a week, so it all helps. So yeah, it's been 10 months since I have lived here full time. So the pros of living here in Slab City full time are I have a community of friends that, you know, we help each other out. I'm in a really great camp. I feel safe here. My campmate and the one who started this camp, Dreamcatcher, this is her camp. She's an incredible person to share camp with, and her dog Dumpling. And we have another campmate, Ron, if you're watching this, hi. So I really appreciate that, you know, having campmates and having a great camp in Slab City where I feel safe and it's relatively peaceful. We're surrounded by beautiful nature. We have a beautiful tree we have a couple trees here, and it overlooks the Chocolate Mountains. Like, I just can't say enough about having easy access to community. The one thing that can be hard being nomadic is trekking back and forth and going multiple months on end without a community of friends or people to interact with. Now, I have preferred to be alone in my travels when I lived full-time on the road, but that was on me. But it did get lonely. So I'm not lonely, that's for sure, here in Slab City. So I have definitely a good social life. I'm surrounded with people that are similar thinking. You know, we don't like being controlled by governments and religions and relationships. We're pretty autonomous, but we also cooperate and work together. Cons. Summer. One word, summer. Summer here is brutal. It is an absolute test of every fiber of your being. There's a part of me that would, if I didn't have to be here in the summer, I would absolutely choose that. But for now, I'm working at Salvation Mountain, and I'm committed to working there, at least for until the end of next summer. So I want to fulfill that commitment. So, but I know how to survive summer, so I'm confident that I can do it. Do I want to do it? No. No. I would love to be a snowbird again. And I'll work towards that end. But I really want my online business to be able to support me. I happen to have a really great job that I love here in Slab City. And I don't know that I necessarily would find that on the road. Maybe I'm sure I'm sure I could if I put my mind to it. I was already thinking of doing the beet harvest, which would bring in about $4 grand. I need about $8 grand per year to live, relatively comfortably, which is way, way, way below the poverty mark. And I was also thinking of working at 𝐷𝐢𝐿, but then I'd be slogging through a way more humid summer, and I don't have air conditioning in my van. So it would be just as worse, if not worse, than living a Slab City summer. So I'm like, pick your poison, Stay here where I love this job and I have a nice camp. Or, enjoy some travel, but then have to work 6 months or work through the summer in high humid conditions. I know how to do it. I could sleep out on a cot, but are there any guarantees that I could sleep out on a cot in the nude with a fan on me? I can do that here. I have private quarters to do that. I built it out so that I could sleep outside under a private canopy. But, I don't know how I would survive a humid summer in Minnesota. So granted, it wouldn't be 125 degrees like it can get here, or 120 degrees. So, I'll figure it out as I go. But ideally, if I were to snowbird, my online business would finally sustain me so that I could leave during the summer. Another thought is I grow my YouTube channel and do something like bike packing, or just bring folks on my travels to the Eastern Sierra, which is pretty much all I want to do. I know it sounds kind of boring doing the same thing every year, but there is one thing that I'd like to try, one place I'd like to travel, and that's Nevada. I'd love to travel Nevada. I've been to Nevada only a few times. So I think Nevada and California are two of my favorite states and the ones that I'd like to spend the most time doing van life in. But yeah, so what else is different in my life? I got a bicycle. I did a short about it. It's a priority bicycle I've named Saucy. So it's a priority hot sauce bike. Hot sauce is the model. And it's like an old-timey, like an 80s looking mountain bike, but it's actually a gravel bike. And what's so great about it is that it has instead of having a chain drive train, I think they call it. And this is literally my first bicycle since becoming an adult, and I'm 51 years old. I've ridden bicycles in my adulthood. I just haven't owned any. I had a bicycle when I was in foster care. When I was a child, my grandfather Vito bought me a banana seat bicycle, which I never rode. My mother did not teach me to ride a bicycle, so and that's okay. I don't fault her for that. She was where she was in her mental state. So yeah, this is my first bicycle, and I should take you on a ride sometime. My favorite place to ride right now is the canal. I do ride around Slab City, but it can be annoying because most of the dogs are off leash, and there's been a few issues with certain neighborhoods here in Slab City, which I'm not going to name here, but some dangerous dogs that attack people. So I know where to ride safely here in Slab City, but you know, I like to get out into nature more and just me in the mountains. So for now, the canal is my favorite, but I want to branch out and explore more on the bike, and I'm tricking it out a little bit. Oh, I didn't tell you why it's different. So instead of a chain, it has a belt, and it's a lot easier to maintain. I don't know about changing the belt out, but the belts last years. And unless I go on big bike packing adventures, it'll probably last even longer than the 3 years that they say that they last. So actually I could do an unboxing here with you. I got some new supplies, some new accessories for my bicycle. I also should show you the bicycle too. But go ahead and look at my short. I did start to open the box, so. All right, so I got this. This is a phone holder so that I can strap it on my bike. And while I'm riding, I'll be able to, I'm gonna use an app called, what's it called again? 𝐨𝐼𝐼𝐼. It's a funny name. Anyways, it's an app that'll help me keep track of my miles and some other things. It's the free version. I had to kind of hunt around for a free bicycle app because they all want you to pay money, of course, right? You know, those subscriptions that can suck money from you. So there is a paid version of the app, but I don't need it yet. Okay, the next thing I bought, this is a night light. High performance USB rechargeable light set. So this will, my nose is itching. Oh my God, do you ever get an itch on your nose? It just won't stop. This is so embarrassing, but so real, right? We're so human. Okay, well, let's have a look at the light. Ooh, fancy. Ah, look at that. So this is the front light. And I got the most powerful light that they would offer because I got a little tiny light that I thought would be great for night riding. It does, I can't see. I can see a little bit, but it hurts my head and my eyes because I'm straining trying to see. This will solve that. I should do a test run with you all tonight. And then it has a backlight. This is the backlight, and it's supposed to be connected to my brakes so people can see what I'm braking. And I need to charge this up. So why don't I do that so that it'll be ready for my night ride tonight. Ooh, I'm so excited to go for a night ride. So here's all the hardware to get it attached to my bike. So let me just get this all plugged in so that I can be ready to ride tonight. Hey, I wonder if it's pre-charged. Nope, it's not turning on. That's okay. We got this. I'm just gonna plug her in. So, but that looks like it's gonna be pretty heavy duty there. I wanted a nice bright light so that I could see clearly while I ride at night. Okay, let's see. To take this off. There's directions, of course. Okay, that one doesn't fit. So then it must be this one, I hope. So I can't recommend Priority Bicycle enough. It's been the most incredible company. They sell affordable bicycles. My bicycle was under $1,000. So I got one of their most affordable models. I almost went all out and was going to buy like the $4,000 gravel bike so that I could, you know, just have the best of the best. But then I thought, well, I just want to get started. And what if I don't like bike packing? Because I've been toying with the idea of like taking off bike packing from Slab City for a summer. But I've been watching videos about it. It's pretty hardcore. I don't know. I really would rather get a bike rack and take off with the van and the bike and have a nice comfortable van to sleep in at night than sleeping in a tent for 4 or 5 months. All right, I'm going to plug this in, get her charged up. Woohoo! So exciting. Very exciting indeed. This is probably going to need several hours. So I might not be able to use this tonight. All right, and then so that's charging. And then we need the back. This is the back light. Can you hear that music? I hope YouTube doesn't. I really need this fan, this flow, but my campmate's playing her music. Can you hear the music? Because if you can, then YouTube can, and I don't want them. I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. Can you guys hear the music? Can you chat to me? Hello, I know you're there. I see you. By the way, please give me a thumbs up. That helps the channel tremendously. Okay, let me plug this in. And yay. Okay, so that's plugged in. So we'll charge those up. And let's see how long they need to charge. So probably like 5 hours. I don't know. Okay, USB rechargeable light set manual. Okay. Before your first ride, please make sure that each light is firmly mounted. Each light is upright and that neither light is blocked. This product is waterproof under normal use and can be used in the rain. However, do not intentionally submerge in water. Keep lights out of reach of children. Okay, great. Okay. Approximate run time. If I run it on high, it's 2.5 hours. If I run it on medium, it's 3.5 hours. If I run it on low, it's 9 hours. So I could go, I probably wouldn't go for a bike ride for 2.5 hours even. I'm usually good for like an hour. I want to increase that. So my eventual goal is to be a bike packer. So bike packers can bicycle all day long, like 8-10 hours. So I got a long way to go, a long way to train and condition my body for that. If I have the light on low, which I think might defeat the purpose, I can run it for 9 hours. Okay, yeah. All right, so it's gonna need like 3 hours. No. 19, 22, what? Work time, 10 hours, 3.8 hours. Oh, okay. Okay, So when the lights stop beeping, there's red and blue lights that are beeping. So when they stop beeping, that means it's charged. So it's probably going to need several hours to charge out of the gate here, and that's okay. I'm not in a rush. What time is it? I wish it would let me see what time it is while I'm live here, but it doesn't. That's okay. All right. So that's pretty cool. Let me show you what else I got. I did show you this. This will hold my phone. So I have a special app that's going to show me how many miles and how fast I'm going. Strava, I think it's called. So I like how this box closes like that. It's pretty nifty. The other thing I got was a bike cover, so that this will cover my bike and protect it from the elements. I'm not going to unfold. Oh gosh. Okay. So the brand that Priority Bike uses is called Hudson. There you can see their name and logo. And I like the bag that I can store it in. So I should probably do a video showing you what the cover looks like. Because Saucy, the name of my bike, is sitting in the sun. So right now I've just been covering her with a fitted bed sheet. That's it. Real simple. But I wanted to do better. And this is UV protection. You know, I got to protect this bike. She was an investment. So that is an unboxing there. The other major thing that's happening in my life is that I'm downsizing the van. You might notice, let's see if I can flip the phone, that my van isn't quite as stuffed with things, because literally my entire life is in this van. Not right this second. Right now, I took a bunch of stuff out, and I'm going to give a bunch of stuff away. I already started giving a ton of stuff away. I gave away a bunch of shoes because I'm going barefoot. So I do have shoes. They're called barefoot shoes, which allows toes to spread in the natural form, and there's no arch and all that crappy stuff that they put in shoes that actually diminishes our natural feet's ability to support themselves. Yes, I said it harshly, just like that. So barefoot shoes are flat. They do have a rubber sole. Let me just show them to you. Okey doke. So here are a pair of barefoot shoes that I bought. I have 3 pair of these. The first pair I bought are too small for me, so I'm going to give these away to a friend if she wants them. But okay, so that flexibility is really important because it allows the foot to do what it naturally needs to be able to do to keep itself strong, to keep themselves strong. These are actually technically water shoes, but I wear them bicycling, I wear them hiking. They're very comfortable, extremely comfortable. And notice the wide toe box. That's the key with barefoot shoes, is having that wide toe box so that my feet aren't all scrunched up. So little by little, my feet are healing. I didn't go hardcore only barefoot because that can also hurt your feet. So little by little, I've been going barefoot more and more without shoes. I have to work barefoot because I don't have barefoot work shoes when I work at Salvation Mountain. So in preparation for my van doors to get fixed, I decided I needed to take out a whole bunch of stuff so that the repairman can fix my doors. So, and I've also been wanting to downsize my van because I just have way too much stuff. So I am working really hard with myself to let go of things. I'm going to start photographing like things like yearbooks and photos and just burning all that stuff and just not hanging on to physical stuff. I'm giving away tons of clothes that I don't wear. Already gave away a bunch of shoes that I'm not going to wear anymore. And I have another full bag of stuff that I'm giving away. Hi, Janet. Welcome to the stream. So here's a bag full of stuff that I'm giving away. Just mostly clothes. But, you know, just stuff I don't need, I don't use. It's just cluttering my van and my life. So it's going to be a process of going through everything and letting go of things because I need to. You know, and as I've mentioned, I've been toying around with the idea of bike packing, and that is an extreme minimalistic way to be. At first, even before bike packing, I thought I would be a backpacker, but backpacking is very hard on the joints, and I don't want to destroy my knees and my ankles and my back. I know there's ultralight backpacking, but I landed on bike packing because I like the idea of moving faster than I can on foot. I feel an element of safety if I can move faster than I can on foot. You can go to a lot of places on a bike, maybe not as many as backpacking, and I still can do backpacking. Hi, 𝐤𝐞𝐭 from Australia. Welcome to the stream. I know you've got heaps of stuff too. Yeah. When I was teaching in brick and mortar school, I used to collect science and mathematics equipment, and it took me months and months. Actually, it took me like 2 years to get rid of all that stuff so that I could move into a van. It literally took me 7 years to pare down my life to fit into a van. But then now what I'm finding is I'm filling every cranny and crevice of space in this van, and I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of living in the clutter. It's cluttered, it's overstuffed. So yeah, I've been following someone who's really inspired me as of late to downsize. His name is Robin Greenfield, Robin. And he's doing a big challenge. He's been doing major challenges for the past 15-20 years with himself. So his whole thing is being the change that he wants to see in the world. So he spent a year growing his own food and foraging and only eating those foods. That's pretty hardcore, right? And now, of course, he did that in Florida, which is a place where you can grow food year round. And I'm wondering if we could do that here in Slab City, because although our summers are hotter, we have agriculture here and the farmers know how to grow food year round. I'm sure we could learn the skills. But I'm not making any kind of steps towards that end. Right now, I'm just working on downsizing the stuff in my life. That's the first place I'm starting. So check out Robin Greenfield's YouTube channel. Because what he's doing right now is incredibly inspirational. He is walking from Vancouver, Canada, all the way down to LA. He's about halfway on his journey on foot. He's walking barefoot a lot of the time. And the other time he actually, I'm trying to remember good posture. I have like this long neck, like a giraffe but I'm constantly having to remember good posture, Gloria. It's such hard work. I should get one of those braces that just so I'm always in good posture, but I haven't yet. One day at a time. So Robin, he's also written a collection of books. One is called Dude Making a Difference, and this is where I got my bike packing idea from. So Robin has ridden across the country, biked across the country 3 times, I think it is. And his challenge was eating food from dumpsters, farmers markets, and co-ops. And he's doing this on the road. He forages his food and he goes to food co-ops where he'll load up his jars. And he tries to live as plastic free as he can, but it's nearly impossible to do that. He hasn't quite mastered it yet, but I'm not putting a guilt trip on Robin for that, because I certainly am not plastic free. It's nearly impossible to live plastic free. These glasses are plastic. Everything, if I were to put a percentage on how much plastic I have in my life, it's probably around 90%. Because that's what we buy in the store. That's what's available to us. And it's sickening because plastic is filling our oceans and the animals are ingesting it. We are ingesting plastic. We have microplastics in our food and our drink. It's just hideous. It's ridiculous. So I've read a lot of Robin's works, and I've been watching a lot of his videos about being the change that we want to see in the world. So he's doing a walk of awakening, where he's read a lot of Gandhi's books and some other spiritual teachers' books, and he's starting to apply by simplifying and minimizing and living a minimalistic life. So he literally carries everything he owns on a baby buggy. He did start off with everything he owns in a backpack, but it was hurting his back and his feet. So he came up with the idea of pushing his stuff on a baby buggy, the one with the big chunky tires. And I think it has like 3 tires, 2 big tires in the back and 1 in the front. I just thought that was brilliant. Such a brilliant idea. That way, all he has to do is just push his belongings along instead of hauling it on his back. So, and I've never really liked backpacking for that reason. You know, hauling 50 pounds of stuff, it's not fun. And in long term, it hurts your joints. And I don't want to be 80 years old with bad knees. I want mobility to the day I die. So I probably won't be a backpacker full time, but possibly a bike packer, at least part time. I don't know if I'd ever want to give up my beautiful, beloved Evergreen Queen van, camper van. So I believe that Robin is in the San Francisco area right now. So you can watch some of those videos on his channel and just see what you think. Maybe he'll inspire you too. Now this guy is hardcore. He has a website, robingreen.com. You can check it out. And he has lots of great blog posts. He sells his books. He has a nonprofit where he sells his books for a donation. So you can name your price. And I bought 3 of his books recently, and I decided to pay $10 per book because I wanted them to get some profit too. I didn't want them to just cover the printing costs and that was it. So that means some people can buy the books for free if they don't have any money. But I chose to pay for them because I have money and I want to support his mission. I believe in it. Absolutely. He wants to help change, help reverse the damage that's being done to our planet right now, which is just immense. So he doesn't support big corporations. He lives without a social security card. He doesn't have any credit cards. He doesn't have any debt. He doesn't have a bank account. He may get a passport if he decides to travel in the future, but without those other forms of ID. So he's basically disconnecting himself from the powers that be. But it's very, very well, very calculated as to how and why he's doing this. So be sure to check out robingreenfield.com and see. He goes into much more detail than what I'm explaining as to why he's given up all those forms of ID. He's disconnecting from a society, from the powers that be that are literally destroying the planet in front of our eyes. You know, let's just call a spade here, right? And we're on board with that because we are supporting these corporations that are destroying our planet, cutting down mass amounts of forests, which eventually will, you know, we won't have quality oxygen. It's just destroying vast amounts of species. Bird species are disappearing. Orangutans are dying in the rainforest. It's gut-wrenching, really. So he is taking a radical stance by living a minimalistic life, not supporting big corporations, bowing out of government, religion, and following this spiritual path for healing for himself, starting with himself. So his goal is to walk, those hundreds of miles from Vancouver all the way to LA. It's over, I think it's 1,500 miles or something. So when he gets to LA, he's going to sell the rest. Not sell. He's going to give away everything, including the clothes on his back. Now this is going to be interesting. I'm like, so how is he going to cover up his private parts? So I'm thinking he's probably going to have to take branches or something. Otherwise he could get arrested, right? I'm sure he doesn't want to get put into jail after his victorious walk across the country. So, and his philosophy is that, he's shedding all of, the attachment to things, to money. He's just letting it all go. And then it's going to be it's an experiment that he's trying on himself. And it's going to be interesting to see what like that when he sells it, see how my mind is like selling. When he gives away his last possession and has no more ownership of anything except the skin he stands up, the body he stands up in. I'm just so curious what the look on his face will be. So I hope those moments will be documented. I mean, it's just really powerful. Like, just think about it. Like, what would it be like if literally you had no possessions whatsoever? I'm so used to having stuff. Look, I'm surrounded by stuff. From the van that my father helped me convert so that it's more comfortable. This is insulation under here, to the clothes that I wear and surrounded with right now behind me. The more plastic that I bought for my bicycle so I can ride at night, and wow, it's just mind-blowing. So obviously my life has not been changed to the degree where I've been willing to get rid of all of my stuff at once. These changes happen for some people faster than others. We just have to honor where we are at in the moment. So right now, I live and travel with all of my belongings. I don't have any storage. I don't have any stuff left at any family member's house. So already I'm ahead compared to most Americans. I'm already ahead of the game. But I'm not where I want to be. So I'm striving to get to where I want to be. So I think my goal is I want to keep my van. I don't want to live out of a tent full time. Not yet. Maybe I will one day be willing to do that. And I want to learn survival skills. Like I want to learn how to build natural shelters. And I did actually go to the Mid-Atlantic Primitive Skills meetup for a week. And so I learned things like how to build a debris shelter out of branches and leaves so that you can live without a tent. Skills like that. Learning to tan hides, learning how to flint knap, make your own tools. I want to go back to that place where I'm interested and passionate about living in harmony with the earth again. Any thoughts or comments about this? Whew, we have been together for an hour, close to an hour, so I think I'm going to wrap things up. Go ahead and give me the thumbs up if you haven't done so already. I also invite you to check out my Ko-fi community. It's a membership that you can join if you want to support this channel. That's one way you can do it. I also have merch, NatureGlo Adventures merchandise. Link in the comments or link in the description. It should be there. It should show up there automatically after I'm done live streaming. So I have t-shirts. I think it's mostly t-shirts and some canvas. T-shirts are the most popular, so I decided to focus on mostly t-shirts. I have some of my own art and photography from my travels on my T-Mill merchandise shop. So be sure to check that out. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you for watching. See you next video.